Hi guys and welcome to CrazyPeppera Revenge. This channel is all about crazy true stories, stuff that happens in real life when things get a little bit messy, people dealing with drama, cheating, lies, breakups, and even revenge. Some stories are wild, some are emotional, but all of them will keep you watching. If you like real talk and real situations, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stick around. This is CrazyPeppera Revenge, where the stories get spicy.
I need to tell you about how my marriage imploded over something that sounds innocent but destroyed everything I thought I knew about my wife. We had the perfect suburban life, quiet streets, 3 kids including twins, and Lisa greeting me with warm hugs every night. I thought we were bulletproof. Last year, Lisa dropped a bomb that shattered everything. She casually mentioned while we were watching TV that she'd decided to be her twin sister Sarah's surrogate. Not asked me, not discussed it, decided. Sarah and her husband Kevin had been struggling with infertility for years, and because Lisa and Sarah shared DNA, Lisa was the perfect candidate. The kicker? She'd already started the process behind my back. When I asked when she'd decided this without telling me, she raised her chin defiantly. She knew I'd freak out, so she made the decision because Sarah was miserable. Oh, and she'd talked extensively with Kevin about it. Kevin, the guy whose child she'd be carrying, got more consultation than her own husband. I was floored. You're telling me to accept a pregnancy that isn't mine, to watch you carry another man's child under our roof? Her response, it's my body. I'm doing this with or without your permission. If you really love me, you'll respect that. The icy calm that settled over me was terrifying. I told her this would tear us apart. She shrugged and said maybe we weren't as strong as she believed. That night, I knew everything had changed. The next few days were surreal. Lisa openly discussed doctor's appointments, fertility meds, implantation schedules like we were planning groceries. I found hormone treatments, syringes, and medical instructions scattered on our kitchen table. When I confronted her, she rolled her eyes and said we were past conversations. I gave her an ultimatum. If you do this, I'm not staying in this marriage. Her response? You're free to leave if your pride can't handle my decision. Pride? This was about partnership, about the fact that she'd discussed it extensively with Kevin while blindsiding her own husband. When she discovered I'd contacted a lawyer, she stormed in furious. She thought we could fix this if I just accepted her decision and moved on. I held up my hand. There is no fix. You went behind my back, used our finances, signed up for surrogacy as though our marriage was secondary to your sister's child. Our state requires a 1-year separation before divorce. Lisa refused to move out, claiming she needed bed rest and the kids deserved stability. So we became strangers sharing space. She took the guest room. I kept the master bedroom. The kids noticed immediately, asking why Mom and Dad no longer sat together at dinner. Things got worse when Sarah and Kevin started showing up with baby catalogs, treating our house like their personal nursery planning center. Kevin even sat in my recliner discussing supplies they'd need here for while Lisa was carrying. I exploded. Don't you dare talk about supplies in my house like it's your personal baby lounge. Sarah had the audacity to say this was about family helping each other. I snapped back. It stopped being about family when you two roped Lisa into this behind my back. I banned them from showing up unannounced. Lisa accused me of alienating our children's aunt and uncle. As Lisa's pregnancy progressed, she expected me to care for her morning sickness, backaches, and fatigue. Every single time she asked for help, crackers, pillows, back rubs, I refused. You're Kevin's surrogate. Let him handle it. If he can't, call Sarah. She'd cry about my cruelty. But I reminded myself she'd shown no compassion when she decided to carry another man's baby without consultation. I offered her the same courtesy. None. Late one night, she came to my door saying she couldn't sleep. Her legs were cramping, asking me to rub them like I did when she was pregnant with our twins. I stared at her desperate, hopeful face and said, flatly, no, then shut the door. Her family launched a campaign against me. Her mother called me selfish for not supporting Lisa's wonderful, selfless act. Her father tried intimidation, growling about how I'd regret not helping Lisa. I told them both that the baby wasn't mine, so I owed no support. The worst confrontation happened in her 7th month. Lisa struggled with grocery bags, nearly dropping them, calling for help. I stood in the doorway, arms folded. Ask Kevin or Sarah. They're the reason you're pregnant. She ended up bruising her forearm, wrestling everything inside while I watched. Later, she set her hand on her belly, tears streaming. When this baby's born, you'll wish you hadn't been so callous. I laughed coldly. I won't, because you'll be gone and this child will be out of our lives. When Lisa went into labor, unexpectedly at the 8th month, it was past midnight. She pounded on my bedroom door. Water broken, contractions coming. For a split second, I remembered helping her through labor with our own children. Then bitterness swept it aside. I'm not taking you to the hospital, I said coldly. That's Kevin's job. Kevin wasn't answering. Sarah's phone went to voicemail. She gripped the door frame, another contraction ripping through her. Grant, please, you can't just let me suffer here. I locked eyes with her. Watch me. I went back to bed while she called 911. Paramedics arrived within 15 minutes. Lisa's mother left screaming voicemails calling me heartless for abandoning Lisa during labor. I deleted them all. She wanted a baby for her sister, so let her rely on her sister's family. The baby girl was born premature but stable. Lisa stayed in the hospital for days while Sarah dealt with her own health complications. Kevin was stretched thin between 2 hospital rooms. I continued my normal routine: work, kids, dinner. When Lisa finally came home, she was pale and exhausted, carrying the newborn in a car seat. She explained that Sarah was still hospitalized with complications, so they'd asked her to keep the baby for a few weeks. I scoffed. They asked, or you volunteered. She couldn't abandon a helpless baby. Let me be clear, I said. I'm not lifting a finger. If you're too tired to handle the crying, that's your problem, she whispered, seeming to talk to herself. Have you always been this cruel, or did I push you into it? The next month was filled with the infant's cries. Lisa would shuffle around half awake, warming bottles, begging for help. Every time I refused, go call Kevin or your mother, she'd sob with exhaustion, but I wouldn't budge. I felt brief remorse for the innocent child. But this was Lisa's doing, not mine. Her parents visited constantly, calling me names: monster, coward, unfit husband. Her father tried cornering me. Lisa is postpartum. She needs rest. You can't just abandon her? I'd glare back. She should have thought of that before ignoring my boundaries. Not my baby, not my problem. The divorce process crept forward. My lawyer presented evidence that Lisa had dipped into our joint accounts for surrogacy expenses, sometimes forging my signature. Court documents spelled out her explicit deception, her disregard for my refusal, her funneling of marital funds. The judge took a particularly dim view of forgery. Lisa's lawyer tried spinning me as cruel for abandoning his pregnant wife. But because the baby wasn't mine and she'd hidden her plans, the argument held little weight. Ironically, Sarah and Kevin stayed silent about finances, probably relieved they weren't on the hook for Lisa draining our accounts. 2 weeks before the final hearing, Lisa cornered me asking for financial help. She claimed she deserved security after sacrificing her body for my sister. I corrected her. You sacrificed for your sister, not for me. That's the difference. When she mentioned postpartum depression, I stayed cold. I care about our children, not about the baby that's biologically Kevin's or your postpartum that you invited. The week before court, Lisa moved out, taking the baby to her mother's house. Our confused children asked if mom was leaving for good. Standing in the foyer with her suitcase, she made one last plea. Grant, I'm asking you not to do this. Don't finalize the divorce. I'll find a way to fix things. I felt a strange tug, but let it pass. Fix things by turning back time? That's the only way. You can't undo what you did. She whispered that she'd never imagined losing me, just wanted to help Sarah. I nodded bitterly. Well, you helped Sarah and torched our marriage in the process. Goodbye, Lisa. At the final hearing, the stern-faced judge reviewed everything. Lisa's lawyer gave a tearful speech about abandonment and emotional misuse. My lawyer presented the timeline. Lisa's decision without consent, spending marital funds, forging signatures, ignoring my clearly communicated boundaries. The judge's ruling was swift and decisive. She found Lisa's actions in blatant disregard of our marital partnership. Since the baby wasn't mine, I had no financial obligations. Given Lisa's misuse of funds, no spousal support was warranted. I received primary custody of our 3 children, with Lisa getting supervised visitation. She was ordered to repay part of the misused marital funds. As the judge delivered her ruling, Lisa's face crumpled. She covered her mouth, shoulders shaking. Kevin and Sarah exchanged stricken looks. I felt vindicated. My revenge was complete. I'd walked away from the wife who betrayed me, and the law backed me up. In the hallway, Lisa approached with swollen eyes. I never wanted it to come to this. I'm sorry, I truly am. I made a mistake, but never thought you'd cut me off like this. I gazed at her coldly. You decided to put Kevin and Sarah's needs before ours and lied about it. That's more than a mistake. It destroyed us. Sarah tried placing a hand on my arm, saying Lisa was remorseful. She'd done it for family. I jerked away. You got what you wanted, Sarah. That baby is yours now. You can deal with the fallout. In the following weeks, Lisa moved in with her mother, still caring for the baby until Sarah recovered. Kevin and Sarah eventually took custody, but rumor had it they were financially strapped. Kevin's hours were cut, Sarah's medical bills piled up, and Lisa couldn't find stable work. My kids thrived once the tension left our house. We found our rhythm with school days, weekend outings, and family movie nights. No more crying baby waking everyone, no more silent warfare. When Lisa texted about regrets, about how being a surrogate hadn't truly helped anyone and just created chaos, I offered minimal replies, addressing only our children's needs. One day, my oldest asked if I still loved Mom. I knelt beside them. I care about her because she's your mother. But sometimes grown-ups change and break trust. They seem to accept this, returning to their Legos with the matter resolved. People sometimes ask why I didn't help her after the birth when she was obviously overwhelmed. I answer that she made a decision excluding me and faced the consequences. They shake their heads, calling me merciless. Perhaps I was, but in marriage, respect and honesty are vital. She showed neither. My revenge wasn't about violence or public humiliation. It was about letting her face every single ramification of her choice alone. I withdrew the support she'd taken for granted and let her see how stark the world could be when she neglected her husband's trust. The judge saw it my way, and so did life's harsh reality. If you ask whether I regret how merciless I was, I'll say no. Lisa dealt the first blow by betraying me. I responded by giving her exactly what she asked for: autonomy. No shared finances, no emotional support, no illusions we'd stay married through a pregnancy I never consented to. In the end, I got my freedom and my children, while she grappled with the selfless act that shattered our marriage. That's how surrogacy for her sister turned Lisa from my beloved wife into a stranger, and how I found satisfaction in not saving her from her own choices. If that's cruel, then cruelty was the price of my dignity, and it was a price I was more than willing to pay.